Hello guys, welcome back to the second part of how to create a pizza, and let's begin. So in preparation I have already created a scene, and I have already created all the textures as well, but I am obviously going to show you how to create them. So without any ado, let's begin. Here we will go to the I have already created a scene. As you can see, if we go to the layout and see it properly, so here is the lighted scene. I have already created all these materials and attached them. So if I go to the shading tab and click on this, you would see the base new is selected, but let's go to the geometry node and see the setup. So I have here, as you can see, the pizza base, and I have you know added these two set materials to actually set those material to it. So if we change these to something else, let's say we have other textures like the same textures like base. This is something else, some other texture that I was creating. uh, See how different the top one is from the the bottom one, because I have set the I need to set this material to the same as the top one. So I'll select base here as well. So now you see it has changed now. So I have created a group of nodes that would actually run the the whole system for the base pizza, and I have attached them to this group input and created a node. So you can see all the nodes here, and if we go to the modifier properties, we can see all those are being seen over here. If we just give it a little more space, we would be able to see these, right? So if we need to change something, we can change it from here. Like I can change it to the mesh radius to 1. I can change the distribution to, let's say, 0.9. Okay. So now I can change the instances seeds as well. You can see it work properly. Now I can move the the movement here, but there is an issue over here. We will try and fix that. I am still working on that, but for now, if we keep it on 0.2, it remains it's a properly made thing. But the thing is that sometimes when you move the distance quite a much, then it creates a problem. And like, see, if we do that, it creates a problem. I'll see what we can do about that later on, but for now I'll keep it to 0.2. It tends to work quite well. Then we can reduce or increase the crust radius, so we can change that. We can make it lesser, or we can have a bigger crust. So now we can sweep the crust as well. I won't touch that at the moment. These are all for those. We can sweep the crust, the base, the slices separately, and then we have the the instances for that, as for the instances as well, the sweep angles. So that is also included there in the group input node. Then we can change the minimum and maximum rotation and the scale as well, and here we can change the seed for rotation. As you can see, all of the the toppings, they change as we change the seed here. So everything is connected. Like the toppings is connected to the group input, the crust is also connected to the group input. So everything I have connected them all and added this materials to them. And now if you see, there is a bend to the pizza slice, right? So that is done using this set of nodes, right? And one here. So these are the nodes that has been used to make this bending, soft body bending, effect. So what I have done is I have taken the position from before the the position was set to the higher value for the crust and for the toppings as well, right? So here is the value over here, the set position value. I took the value before it was positioned like that, like the z value was increased to 0.2, and so the real value currently would be 0. So then we use a distance node and set the first vector to the distance and keep the second vector empty. Now use the value over here to to get a float curve, use multiply, use another float curve to adjust all the, like, these float curves actually help you to adjust the position of the slice basically. So now I also add another multiply node and just multiply the value so that we get a higher value and then connect it to the set position. So yeah, so and also here the same thing is done to this set position as well, so that we can have a, as you can see, we can tweak it to our heart's content and see if there is any issues with the instances or something like that, and then we can go to the instance seed and keep changing it till we get a better look. So let's keep changing. Let's put a random number, like say 5788. Yeah, so I just put the number randomly, and it does work. It's quite okay, we can use this, but we need to see how to tackle this problem that I'm having over here. Yeah, so there is an issue with the crust being too thick, so I need to yes, I'll do this later on. So yes, let's go about and check some other things that we have done. So I have taken a random value over here, this node and this node, two random values, and set the instances, rotation and scale to these random values and drag them inside this group input, right? So that we can change the size of the toppings, right? So yes, so that's about it. So now we go to shading and let's see how the shading works. So for the shading part, we will go through this step by step, right? So let's do one thing. Let's go to the tab, this tab, material tab, plus to create a new material, press new. So this is now known as material. Now we name it base 1. So base 1, and we create another new, and name this crust 1. So these are the two materials that we made. So we go to base 1 again, Let's go to geometry node setup and change this again. So we have crust new, so now we will have crust 1. This one would be also crust 1, and the base material would also be base 1 and base 1. So now we go to the shading tab. I have the base 1 selected already. So what we do is keep this principal BSDF for now. Now we take another gradient color ramp first, plug that in to the base. Now we go to gradient texture. I am using node wrangler, so you can use that to go to, like, press Ctrl T to add the mapping node and the texture coordinate node, and then add the factor to the factor over here. Now you see, you can just change it. Now you can see there is a gradient that is running around. Now we change this to spherical, right? And then change this from generated to this one. So now you can see, like, we control the middle part and how the sauce, we can sauce it up, and we can change the colors and see how it looks. So I'll go to yellow color, this one. I have this complete white, don't need it to be completely white, so let's change this white to here and here. Yeah, so now you can see how the colors are. Yes, so that's the base color. We can tweak it later on. Let's do one more thing. We can go to a noise texture, control T to use these to generate a noise. A little bit of noise would help us to sell the realism of it, and we can also use it to run our other channels as well. So let's use this. So we do not use it directly, we use a math node. We use multiply, and then add this factor here. So now you see the color. Let me change the color a bit so that it's more visible, like here. Now you can see this one. We can use this one to spread the the sauce basically. Let's use some more colors. Okay, now we can add another multiply node over here, and we can use this to use as the spread. Now it looks too bland. Let's put this to the roughness. Yeah, you see. Yes. So I can add one more. Use that to accentuate the the feeling of cheese over and the all this. We can change the scale of it. We can change the distortion, the detail of it. I don't want to change the detail. I'll keep the detail to 0 and the distortion to 0.1. Yeah, looks good. Now we use a bump node to give it a little bit of extra height, fake height. So we put this to the normal. Too much strength, let's decrease that. Yeah, so you see we have some fake depth which sells this picture a little bit better, drags it toward a little bit more realism. So now we go to the crust. Let's change it to the crust one. Now let's do this one. Okay, so it would be a fairly simple thing, and we will use the same components like this one, color ramp. Let's get that in. Change this color to black and something like a burnt color, a little bit more color. Yeah, and this one too, a similar color but like a bread color, so I'll keep it like this. Yeah, so now we take a noise texture. Take this factor, put that in. Right, so we can change the scale, the detail, the roughness, everything. We can use it to accentuate everything. So now we use Control T to have the mapping range over here. Use the object as the vector. Okay, now we can use some math magic, like use the math node, put it over here. Let's use another vector and use that here. And this is another noise texture, sorry. Let's see. So yeah, so now it looks more like a crust. Now we can give it some more details. Yeah, so you see I need to use this as the roughness as well. Yeah, Yeah, so there you go. So now we have a well, we can check other colors as well, like I am doing here, and this seems to be better. So yeah, so that's all. Now for the lighting part, so I have also created this material which I am not going to show you, but I will keep this material for you to check it out yourself and understand what it does, and how it is made, uh, right? But I'll show you how it works. Yeah, right. So let's go ahead and change some values over here. Yeah, so let's change all these values. A little bit of value changing would create the magic. Yeah, so see how changing this value also helps. Now if we bring more, it will give us more like this kind of an effect, but I want uh, lower scale. So sure, yeah, so this is a great result for me. So let's give it a F12 and render it out. Right, yeah, it looks good. But about the lighting, I would like to show you how I did the lights as well, but I suppose this is quite a lot right now for this video, so I'll make a part 3 of this as well. So let's go ahead and see how soon I can make that as well. And I'm trying to make this series in a total, I want to drop the same uh, like drop this tutorial on the same day. So this is a long project I have. So we are done with the texturing part, we are done with the part where we create this pizza, and we have also given it a test result. So now what we are left to do is, I've already lighted the scene and created all these things as well for you to check it out. But what I'll do is I'll go ahead and create the lighting video as well, lighting tutorial for it as well. And thank you. Let's wrap this up.